Hey Cole.
Hey, bro.
Hey my friend.
How's it going?
It's going. It's going. How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. So, did you have a little practice with meeting your feelings with love?
Hmm.
How did it go?
Yeah, it's interesting to see how um all these situations and relationships in my life are are ripples of what I've thrown out there, you know, like the
Mm,
analogy of a pond and stuff like that. So it's been at times challenging, especially when you have a living relationship with someone that seems to be the very opposite of you, and
mm,
learning to reel it back in and seeing what's my part in this and how can I first embrace and allow the feelings that are rising, you know, in me, you know. So
mm.
yeah, so overall it's good. It's at times it's very challenging, to allow some of these feelings because it can be very strong,
Yeah.
as you know.
So that's the thing. What's the way you start? You grab one feeling, but you gotta be specific. Like you got to find like, what's that one feeling that comes up in this relationship? What is it? Like, see if you can just even give it like one label. Can you access it? Is that arising?
Can
Like
I
the
what?
minute you start thinking about something, like you think of that relationship, you immediately actually have a feeling reaction, feeling coming up. You want to catch that feeling and see what's underneath this whole relationship is just one big feeling that you go against in you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a problem, right?
Yes.
So what is that feeling? What feeling comes up when you say this relationship?
What feeling comes up? The energy of anger.
Great. So what's your relationship to anger in you, not in the other, in you? How do you relate when that anger energy comes? What's your relationship to it?
As to what do you mean? Am I able to allow
How
it?
do
Am I
you relate?
receptive?
Do you love that feeling of anger in you?
Yeah, at times yes, sometimes no. But I feel like breathing as best I can as it comes
That's your
through.
strategies, but what's your relationship to it? Like how you relate to it?
Yeah, I still at times
Love
see
it?
it. Oh, well, I still at times I see it as enemy, and others at times I see that it's a gift for me. But it's not completely, 100%. This is gift in each moment. Thank you. I'm
That's it.
grateful.
And it's like that. In truth, it's either you're like in a good relationship with it or not. There is not in between.
Yeah.
If you were really in love with it would be never a problem. You see? It'd be never a problem. It's like, oh, my rage is up. And you feel good because it's just energy. You label it rage and you think it's like this is good and this is bad, but it's just energy flowing that appears to be as anger because it was labeled as anger in the past. You know what I mean? So what I do normally with this, like, you got to start with working with this anger until it becomes a free flow. It can't be a free flow if it's got non-acceptance. So you got to realize that you have non-acceptance of it, right? What comes up when I said that?
Regarding what specifically?
Well, when I just said, like, you know, if you got to find this like a non-acceptance. I think you have this. Do you like roll your eyes up?
What's that?
Do you roll your eyes up?
I don't know. That's what you see.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you don't know, maybe do you dissociate with what's happening?
At times, yeah.
Yeah, well, you got like without associating, you're like connecting to your rage, connecting to these feelings. You you have to have an intent to join. I just had this feeling that you might be slightly dissociating, which is not going to help you. Like you're going to be with what really is. There's a place you can escape into this, like a haven, but that's not going to really heal what really needs healing. Can you
Okay.
follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Mm. What kind of work do you do? You do way of mastery or something like that?
Yeah, and through what Holly is doing as well, the quantum healing with Claire and Jill. I don't know if you're familiar with their work. Have you heard of Linda Howe, Dr. Linda Howe, Akashic reading? Okay. Anyways, yeah, they're well, you know Holly, so you kind of know what she
I
does.
know Holly a little bit. She's more like in my group, kind of following what I do. I don't know much about what she does.
Yeah. Well, for me, the main part of what um, I've been practicing more and more mindfully is the way of mastery. You know, ever since I started it back in July of last year, and that's really taken me off to more of that feeling nature to embracing and allowing. You know, but up until then, it was like I was completely numb. You know, and um, just had all these spiritual concepts. You know,
Mm,
and not really going into the heart and going to that place. So that's what I've been practicing more and more, is being able to go to that place and embrace more and more of those aspects that I haven't been able
mm,
to be with, you know.
yeah,
So it's been a short period of time, but
yeah.
it's been very rewarding knowing that that might be all that's needed is just to allow that energy to come through.
Yes. That's the key for me. Like, you know, if it's unless it begins to that unless the energy flows the bottom up all the way from the bottom, you know, it's like you say, it becomes a spiritual concepts that, you know, might be impressive, but they really not connect you to your whole self.
Yeah, you can only get so far with those.
Yeah. So, yeah. Mm.
And it's just
So
nice to, it's nice to
whatever
live.
arises, you got to want to connect with it because it's you. It's like dissociated you. And it's not the feelings that are a problem. It's this that's a problem. The part of you that think it has to connect to it. Feelings are fine. All feelings are perfect. The perfect feelings. They're reflecting this though. This has to wake up that the feelings are only reflecting what this is doing. So if this has an attitude of like, I'm above this, the feelings are like chopped off. And they're trying to reflect what's going on in there, but you go like, no. So it's about awakening this part of the mind that becomes incredibly receptive to feelings and begins to pay attention to them. Without this attention, the feelings are just drowning and being attacked. So it's like really the change of mind that will make any difference. So I use these kind of like steps to kind of like how to get in touch with these feelings in a loving way rather than detached.
Yeah, I
So
hear you.
yeah. So first thing is just you just go, hello feelings. I just want to be your friend. I'll run you quickly through those. I can send it to you and you can practice it if it attracts you. If it doesn't, then it's you can just, you know. But this is the offering is that you do these steps where you begin to meet feelings, like genuinely want to meet them. So they, because you can't heal what you can't feel, you can't heal, right?
Hmm.
And if we meet feelings without loving acceptance, 100% loving acceptance, accepting feeling a little bit is not good enough. There's only yes or no. You either accept it or you don't. A little bit of acceptance is good, but you need to see whether you have a full acceptance or not. The minute you start having full acceptance, your feelings begin to evolve again. They will begin to expand and ignite your heart like your heart's never been ignited before. Because it's feelings that powers the heart, not the mind so much. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So the first step is to like, hello feelings, I want to be your friend. So whatever's arising, come with this attitude of like, I want to befriend myself, the part of me that's kind of seemingly dark. Yeah. Then the second step is to see like, do you have acceptance for that feeling? Yeah. So, but you got to apply it. Like, do you have acceptance for your anger? If you say sometimes yes, sometimes no, that's ambiguous. You got to go, what is it? Is it yes or is it no? Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. And also, if you do have not a good relationship to a feeling, you need to explain to the feeling why you've been denying it. How would you go about that? It's like, let's say anger. Why would you deny sometimes your anger?
I don't like the way it feels if I'm not allowing it in the body.
Beautiful, beautiful. So tell it to it now.
Tell
Instead
it
of
to
telling
tell
it
it.
to me, you go directly to the anger and say like, hey, anger, I don't particularly like you because I just don't like the way you feel. You find that, is that easy?
Well, as you said that, that kind of made it a little more like an access into that.
Yes, yes. You got to talk to it because we are like we like talking about feelings, but to actually talking to them and make real connection. Like imagine for a moment that The feeling is the most important thing you can actually access this lifetime. What you think doesn't matter if the feeling is not present. There is no birth of heart, and there is not really birth of Christ. You can tell yourself, I'm Christ and I'm one with God, and you can tell yourself anything until the feeling backs it up and actually ignites the heart like you've never seen it before, which is creation, which is constantly brand new. It's not like we have a heart and now I know my heart. No, this is like constant birth of the new. And if that's not happening, nothing's happening really. So that's why you need to have that solid masculine sort of approach, going like, hey, feelings, I fucking hate you. Anger, I'm not good with you. And then begin to create a conversation between those two. The feelings will begin to talk to you, but at this point they're not really allowed. So unless you start this relationship with feelings, nothing's going to happen. The feelings are going to just keep bugging you. They're trying to reach you, but you just go like, well, not this again. So that's really important, that kind of like change of mind when you go like, oh my God, I'm going to get my feelings saved. I got to connect to my feelings. Eventually you realize that this mind is like it's unconditional non-acceptance of feelings.
It's a what?
Unconditional non-acceptance of feelings.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And unconditional non-acceptance of feelings will affect your body in some way. It will restrict your movement, your flow, your health, whatever. Feeling is the secret. It's not in the body. The feeling is first. Feeling creates body. So if we don't work with our feelings, body will reflect it. So eventually you realize that your relationship to your feelings is not that good. That's a good realization.
Okay.
Sometimes people say, yes, of course I accept my feeling because it's all love and it's all one. Bullshit. It's not all one. If you fully not in love with your feelings, like your rage comes up, you go like, oh, fuck, my rage, beautiful. That you really become one with it, that it ignites your asshole, it like ignites you it turns you like your turbo is on, like your life, like it's a near life experience, become alive with vibration. That's being one with the feeling. If that's not happening, not much is happening at all. So somewhere we got to get in touch with these feelings, and only you can do it. Like no one else can do it for you. You got to change your mind and go like, okay, let me make my feelings my best friends. Because the people outside you, they're just reflecting all your denied feelings. That's all. You change your attitude towards your feeling, your world will change. Try not to change people, good luck. Change your attitude towards your feelings that's genuine, that's really honest and genuine, that your feeling begin to go like, oh, you see us now. Now we can shift. When you shift internally, your outside world will change until there is not even a world left. Until you no longer see a world that needs to project all your karma drama. That the world simply disappears and you return to the kingdom. Yeah. Make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So these are the steps, like hello feelings, I want to be your friend. That's your intent to heal, intent to connect. Explain feeling, whatever feeling arises, why you've been denying it. It needs to hear it. Like you need to verbalize it. It's just like, it's almost like you're talking to an enemy and you say, you know what? I hate being enemy with you. I want to be your friend now. What do? You call out, you reach out. So you reach out to the feeling world. feeling realm, which is massive. Our mind is just this tiny little pimple, you know. Feeling is the kingdom of heaven because you feel the love of God within you. You don't think it, it's a feeling thing.
Yeah.
Actually, Course in Miracles is also a course in feeling, but
And
it's just been exactly, it's been so mentalized that it became
yeah, yeah,
an absolute bullshit. But eventually it just trains your mind to what? To stay present instead of judgmental. So it
yeah,
becomes present to the feelings.
yeah,
So the will of God, which is a feeling, can then reach your mind and bless it. Yeah. So anyway, this is the kind of work. I mean, Holly could probably help you with going on with this a bit deeper if you want to.
yeah. I mean, she just gave me her name. Sorry, I'm just eating my dinner as you were talking.
Sure. No, she asked me. She asked me if I could talk to you, or some. Very happy to give you some hints and points.
Yeah,
And if it
I,
resonates, but you got to apply it. You can't just get the technology and then go like, wow. You got to do it until your feelings begins to go hello. Like your inner feminine side begins to go boom. Yeah.
yeah. If you can send me what you would think is helpful, that would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll send you those steps and you just apply them. If you don't understand something, you can ask me and I'm very happy to just point you to it. But that's the stuff I do. And if that works, great. And if it doesn't, then there must be probably something better for you somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, the role of feeling is where I'm starting to swim into. You
Say
know,
it again.
the role of feeling.
Yeah.
Feeling is where like I'm starting to swim into, and
Yeah.
it's to have a relationship with
Hmm.
feelings and emotions is actually fairly it's new to me, you know.
Yeah.
So it almost feels
Yeah.
like I'm playing like catch up, but since I have been, it's almost like I'm like a thawing from years of just you know
Hmm.
um, um, numbing myself. And I guess there's no accident that I paralyzed myself when I injured my neck, you know,
Right.
all those years ago, and now it's like I'm starting to
Hmm.
like come alive again,
Yeah.
and so I can see the benefits
Beautiful.
of being with that, but now it's really
Yeah.
really getting into those seeming deeper emotions that you see all around you, and you just stay with that instead of being like, what is this reflection inside of me showing me, and how can I like be friends with it? And if like right away when you just said like what's my relationship with it, I don't know if you said friend or if I said that, but to me, by being friends with something that seems to be so negative and
Yeah.
all that, to me is just very very helpful, because something switches around where it's maybe this is not against me or to hurt me or to do something bad to me, but maybe it's showing me something for me to
Yeah.
look at. And if I don't, it's going to get louder, and something the
Yes.
body's going to say something, and
Because
you know
who made it dark? Who made it dark?
I did.
Yeah. And so you can undo it
Yeah,
because it's the same thing. You know what it is? Have you ever heard that story of a princess and a frog?
yeah,
Right. That's the story of feelings. Because what did she do? She kissed the frog. So all these frogs inside you, you can see them all as frogs, all these negative, so-called negative feelings, the feelings you don't like to feel, they just basically the frogs. But when you kiss them, that means when you come with this loving attitude, genuinely a loving attitude towards them, no matter how ugly they look, you made them ugly. You see them incorrectly. Instead of light, you see dark. They are still light, but they appear as darkness. So your change of mind will begin to enlighten them. That's what enlightenment is, where you turn that which looks dark within you into light. But you can't just imagine it. It has to happen. Like the kiss has to occur for the prince to show up. In our masculine way, it's like our masculine mind kisses the frog and a princess will show up. Yeah. So then the prince will realize that prince was the frog. This mind is pretty fucked up. The way the people use the mind, it's screwed. And particularly spiritual mind can be very screwy.
Yeah.
Because it lifts above and it detached itself, you know? If you feel a distance, any distance, rather than falling into union with everything, you know? So good. I'll send you this stuff and then just, you got to do the steps. If you don't do it, it's as good as anything else, you know? You got to apply it. It's going to blow your mind. All you have to do is stick with one feeling. Don't take a very difficult feeling. Take something like shame or something that's not too difficult, whatever that's for you. Take a feeling and begin to say, hello, feeling, I want to be your friend. So you're changing your
Relationship with it.
distance. Yeah, exactly. You're inviting healing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, beautiful. And then you keep working with it, with the steps. Step 4 is when you realize that you don't have a good attitude and good relationship to the feeling, there comes a point of step 4 is apologizing to the feeling for denying its function. That can be quite humbling. Because like, what, me apologizing to shame? Yeah, right. You apologize to it, and a feeling begins to turn into movement and into light. Right? You forgive yourself, ask the feeling to forgive you for crucifying it day in, day out, or holding it in prison. And then you release all the judgments around that feeling. Like, you know, you might even realize that whatever you called it is not what it really is. Just like that thing. It's like it turns into a princess and is no longer a frog. And you're gonna be blown away that which looked at the darkest, worst thing in you is actually light. But it has to happen. You can't just imagine it. Imagination is for kids, you know? Imagination is not good enough because it's off the mind, makes images. You want to get to this imagery of feelings. The kingdom of heaven is in the feeling around. Keep doing this as long as that feeling changes until if it doesn't change, keep going, keep going, keep going until it does. Guarantee you'll have a shift and suddenly there'll be like a movement inside of you. And that movement is what will take you further. Your mind is absolutely useless to you. Only good for that you want to change your mind, you want to change your attitude towards feelings. So you resurrect them. The real resurrection is when you resurrect all your feelings. Because as they are now, they're basically nailed down just like the Christ was on the cross. So you got to pull those nails out that you nailed them down with. They were not just done to you, that you nailed them. You crucified your feelings. Now the feelings are reflecting it as your relationships, you know, your surroundings, and it all looks nailed. Nothing moves, right? It can be, but myself I crucified. It's always the self-forgiveness all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. You don't forgive the others. You forgive the feelings they bring up in you. You with me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Whoever's in you to triggers the fuck out of you, what do they trigger in me? And let me have a look at my relationship to that feeling. And now you begin to do forgiveness. Forgiving person, just because like you want to forgive them, is not enough.
Yeah.
Unless you forgive your feeling, the feeling will manifest that similar person in different form. When people stop showing up that bug you, and you know you are forgiving. Yeah. Forgiveness without correction is an empty gesture. So I've seen forgiveness going on and on and on and on and on and on and on, never ending forgiveness. But there is a forgiveness where you no longer forgive because there's nothing to forgive. Nothing arises to be forgiven.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, brother. So I'll send you that and see how you go. And if you ever need to ask a question about it, if that's for you, if it's working, I'm very happy to help you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Cole.
All right, brother.
Love you, brother. All right.
Yeah. Same to you. Ciao, bro.
Ciao, ciao.
Take it easy.